Okay, welcome everyone to Keto Kings. Yes, the Keto Kings beer and barbecue banter. I'm your host, Chef James P. Madonna, and I will introduce you to my illustrious co-host and special guest, the one and only BC Beer Reviews in Michigan. BC, how you doing there?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
All right.
Doing pretty good.
Now let's
How you doing?
fill. How's that? Oh, it looks like you got a nice, cool, early autumn day there, like me.
Yeah, it's like 71 degrees outside. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
looks.
real nice to be doing some smoking.
Yeah.
I
So,
got somebody doing some weed whacking behind me in my alley here. So, yeah,
well, people are usually they work Monday through Friday, and they're off on the weekends, and maybe Sunday's their only time to do it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
understandable.
This
The
is true.
Yeah, the problem is when they do tree cutting with the chainsaw when the landscapers trim trees. That makes a lot of racket. But
Yeah.
so what you got? What you got there in the mug?
I got it on the grill here. I'll show you.
Yeah, you got something on the grill that you just put on
Yeah, I
there.
got some on the grill right now.
One of your specialties. Yeah, let's
Uh,
point the camera towards. Hey, what, that looks like a big ass pork loin.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh
Stuffed
yeah,
with cornbread stuffing with onions and mushrooms,
that is
sprinkled with
that is the BC special recipe for the smoker grill,
yeah.
and you just put it on, and you're going to see everything in action: the smoke, the meat, the browning and braising of the meat, and so anyway, well, what do you got in the mug?
Today I've got Two Hearted Ale today.
Two.
So
Yeah.
yeah, by Bell's Beers. So
All
I've
right.
actually enjoyed it. It's IPA. So
That's a
I'll,
local. That's a
yeah, it's a
local.
local. Yeah, it's a Michigan thing. Comes from Battle. No, not Battle Creek, but Kalamazoo, or more
Kalamazoo.
exactly, Comstock, Michigan, which is right next to Kalamazoo. So
Yeah, I have a friend from Columbia, South America, that lives in Kalamazoo. She's a teacher of I think nutrition and in school, and yeah, she went from Columbia, Medellin, somewhere, I don't know, it's in Columbia to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Kalamazoo, and yeah. So anyway, uh, yeah, we're off to a good start. It
yep,
is a Peaceful Sunday here, thank God.
Yeah, it's a good day to cook a pork loin. I'll tell you that. Sundays, I don't know. It seems like Sundays are them days where you can cook like a pork loin, a pot roast, something like that on a Sunday to have a good Sunday
Yeah.
meal on.
Or you could load up a smoker grill with a lot of different things. Raw pork belly for bacon, turkey
Yeah,
drumsticks and turkey wings, turkey necks, uh,
ribs, fish, yeah,
trout,
man, yeah,
great
trout.
trout. Um, um,
I mean,
yeah, the big
little,
rack of spare ribs, pork spare ribs. Oh yeah, but you gotta let that go. Woo! Like if you're actually if you're gonna smoke hardcore smoking all that meat, you got to start it very, very, very early in the morning, maybe
yeah,
before the sun comes up, and then when showtime comes, you'll still see all the smoke, and you'll see that beautiful brown color of real smoked meat because you got to smoke it good. It takes many hours.
yeah, yeah. And I've tried this one, and they say they. I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but they changed the temperature for the pork instead of cooking it at 165 like you would with chicken, or at least with most chickens. Because that last chicken I had to cook it to 185 for some reason. But uh, most chickens 165, and this one I'm cooking to 150. So I got the probe inside the stuffing. So once that stuffing hits
Well,
150,
well, real smoked meat, real smoked barbecue has to be low and slow.
yeah, this is true.
Fart doctor, long time no see. It's the fart doctor, gastroenterologist, MD in Midtown Manhattan, and he was with me last night when I did the music show, rock and jazz, with Paul Anthony Mantia as a final tribute to the late uh, Gabby Petito, like a memorial. And he was with me, and here he is again for a very relaxing, meditative show. Because when you're smoking meat and you're smelling that aroma and looking at that, watching that smoke on a relaxing Sunday with communing with nature, you got the tree branches blowing, you got the birds chirping and singing, you got peace and quiet, and it's very meditative, in my opinion, to be outside
Mhm.
with a smoker. Yeah, well, between 10 and 14 hours, I hear, Fart Doctor.
Yeah,
Uh,
with some of them, yeah. I know when I go on my way to work, there's this. I don't. There's this one guy that barbecues. He doesn't have a brick and mortar store, so he does all his smoking at his house, and he caters to places. So if you rent a hall, he brings the food. And man, every so often I drive past his house, and I could just smell him smoking stuff driving past his house. And it's like, if it was me, I'd be up all night checking that stuff out, man, because somebody might come by and snatch that up. So
well, it's definitely a heavenly smell. I mean,
yeah,
aroma.
it definitely is.
It's very pleasing. When you talk about aromatherapy, I don't think you can get much better than smoked meat with the right wood chips. Whether
Yeah.
it be mesquite,
Oh,
apple, uh, uh, what do you call hickory, hickory,
Applewood,
apple,
cherry.
hickory dickory cock or dock, hickory dickory, and whatever. It's all good. I wonder if anybody ever mixed wood chips and did a blend.
I'm sure they have. You know, for the longest time, I always had the thought that nobody smoked a meatloaf. So I did it one time, and I started looking at it on the web, and sure enough, there's been several people that smoked a meatloaf. Oh my goodness, it's crazy.
Now,
But talk about wood chips. I got to throw wood chips on now.
okay, yeah, what they recommend is you get like a stainless steel mixing bowl or an aluminum throwaway a pan from a dollar store, and
Yeah, like a
you soak it. you soak the wood chips until they're saturated with water, and then when you put it in over the coals in the smoker, it smolders, so you have a slow, sustained release smoke. It
Yeah.
smolders, and that's what I read about the ideal way to add your wood chips. So they slow. You got that slow, sustained release of smoke.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see those wood chips going into the gorilla.
Oh, I just threw them on.
Oh, okay.
Show you the underbelly.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. It's like having a little mini fireplace, except it smells a lot better. Oh, there you go. You got the tray.
Yep.
You got
So
the
I got
tray.
everything going. Everything's going good.
All right. Tray of water, right? With the
Yeah, this time I left it empty. I didn't want to get it too uh, wet because I plan to be spritzing it here
yeah.
every so often. So the pan's gonna catch all the drippings.
Yeah, let's see that beautiful work of art. That beautiful big pork loin tied up with the cornbread and with cornbread, mushroom, and
Onion. Yeah.
onions stuffing. That's basically what the recipe is, and you tied it up with sauce. I think sausage cord, right?
Butcher's twine, actually.
Butcher twine, same shit.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah.
But that's a nice size one, I'm telling you. And I'm wondering, BC. I have an idea. If somebody's gonna smoke meat long term, low and slow,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if somebody could soak. Now, just picture this: soak white pea beans or pinto beans or whatever. Let's say pea beans, navy bean. Let's say navy bean. Soak them overnight. Rinse them out good. Rinse after you soak them, and put them in a pan, a bowl rather, or a medium sized pot or something, and put your brown sugar, cut up some raw pork belly, and make smoked baked beans with your meat.
Yeah, you could do that.
I guess. Well, not well. Tomato would be like Campbell's pork and beans, but
okay, yeah.
right to do the Boston style baked bean would be pork belly diced, cubed, and brown sugar. For those of you that are health conscious and don't want your brown sugar to get hard as a rock, you can get turbinado sugar, which is a dehydrated first squeeze of the sugar cane. It's sugar cane juice that's dehydrated and into crystals. So, but it stays loose, and you get that molasses aroma and flavor. Okay, yeah. Jason Cleveland, Feliz Domingo to you. Happy Sunday to Jason Cleveland. And here's Jordy from Scotland. Hey, we got the international people looking in, stopping by. Happy Sunday to you, Jordy. And it is extremely early in Scotland. I think he's 5 hours ahead of us. So what is it?
What, like 10 o'clock?
Oh, it's not that early by him. Right? Really? 5 hours. It's what is it now? 3:16 Eastern time. Yeah. I guess it's not too early.
Yeah, still morning for him though.
Yeah, I mean I'm nocturnal, so to me.
Yeah, I seen you over on Mike's channel the other day. So Mike. How's Mike from Western Beer Reviews?
Oh, he's doing all right. His the quality of his beer reviewing is just getting better and better as the months fly by. He's definitely the most improved person in what he does, and and he's got the professional version of the StreamYard. He's doing good. When he's sober, he he's outstanding in the quality of his show. Now, uh, that that's the first time I saw Drewski Brewski actually sober. He's actually a smart guy and a nice guy when he's sober. He's different compared to when he's
Been
totally
drinking a while. Yeah.
yeah, plastered and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I seen him. I think that
Why?
one morning when I sent you the link.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh,
It's not 10 a.m. It's 8:15 p.m. in Scotland right now. Ah, so it's not too bad. It's early.
oh,
Yeah, it's early for Jordy. Okay, 15. I mean, 5 hours ahead from now. You're right, Jordy. You're right. Anyway, oh,
okay. Yeah, that would make more sense. Yeah.
yeah, that would make more sense. Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people are very nice and sometimes intelligent when they're sober, but I know a couple of people, and there are others out there that are bad drunks. In other words, they try to pick a fight with everybody. They're really negative and grouchy and just terrible, terrible to be around. They try to instigate trouble and debates and fights with other people. But then again, there are others that are happy drunks, like me. I'm a
Yeah.
real happy drunk, but I'm not a drunk. I'm not a lush. But if I'm at a wedding reception and the liquor uh, is free,
It's a free bar.
well,
Yeah.
if it's free, it's for me. So
Yeah. Exactly.
but I'm going to eat. You got to have a cushion to absorb all that alcohol. You got to have food in your stomach. So,
No.
I would go to the appetizer buffet and chow down, and because sometimes the appetizer is better than the main entree at a wedding reception. And I would fill my stomach up, cushion it, and then go for the bartender and um, if you want drinking to last throughout a wedding reception, you can't go too heavy duty, and don't mix too
Oh
much,
yeah. Yeah.
you know.
It's like mixing beer and wine. You don't want to be doing that. No. So.
No, yeah, I was drinking Kahlua and cream, sombreros, for a while because what I wanted to do was this method to my madness. I wanted to drink alcoholic beverages, but I didn't want to put a damper on my libido because I know alcohol is the greatest and most effective aphrodisiac for women. And what better place could you pick up single women and at a wedding reception because they get drunk and let me tell you they get very brazen and very assertive and some of them become like sexual savages
Yeah.
or like my
I
grandma.
heard a couple of ads. He was heard a couple of ads. Like, remember so and so's wedding? It was like they're talking to another aunt or somebody. It's like, remember that one dude? It's like, yeah. It's like, man, I would have done things that he never would have dreamt of. I was like, Aunt so and so, stop that. I don't want to hear this.
Hey,
I was like, come
I,
on, man.
I
I mean, I
crashed.
get it. I mean, I understand it, but it's my aunt. I don't want to hear it. But
I
I mean, it's just the nature of the beast, so to say.
Yeah,
So,
I crashed two weddings with a friend of mine and told everyone, "Oh, I used to work with the groom. I never worked with the groom." And then, and one wedding reception was in the same building that where my sister's wedding was with her first husband. Oh, she divorced him. So anyway, I got bored. I got really bored towards the end, and what I did was I took a walk and I was watching. I heard a lot of great Latin music, a lot of salsa music, and people were having fun. And I was watching it, enjoying the dancing, the professional ballroom salsa dancing. And some
yeah.
woman says, "You want to get invited to this wedding reception?" I looked around, I go, "Yeah, all right." So I went in there, and it was fun. It was fun. I mean, my relatives were sticks in the mud because A lot of them, they were just sitting on their ass waiting for those boring, typical cliche wedding songs.
Oh,
I
like the chicken dance or slide to the right, slide to
hokey
the left,
slide to the
do the
right,
cha
and
cha.
slide to the left, and slide forward and back, and the hokey pokey. I
Yeah.
and when I was a little kid, I had to endure that torture at every wedding reception. So that's why I took a walk. I said, I can't take this anymore. All right. Daryl Messiahs from Northern California. Greetings and Feliz Domingo. Feliz Domingo to Daryl Messiahs. Yes, I am a huge fan of spicy food. And I told Chadio of Colorado, who's really big into hot sauce, and there's a lot of hot sauces out there. Let me tell you, there's tons of them. I says, why don't you do a live stream show with Eric Fraunfelter, because he's big on top level cigars, vintage cigars. Why don't you do vintage cigars? I mean, top level, top shelf cigars and hot sauce. You'll never run out of material, even if you
Yeah.
do it once a month or whatever. He didn't answer me, no reply, because I'm not part of that clique. You know, the booze, like Ronnie Simpson calls them, the booze hounds. I'm not part of the clique, so I'm not worthy of a reply. See this canine like Freddie Blassie, I'm gonna gnaw on his forehead for disrespecting James P. Madonna. I want to gnaw on his forehead, baby. Oh, barbacoa. Yes, barbacoa is a Caribbean, a Native American name from the Taínos, I think, the Caribbean Indians that the Spaniards killed them off with their smallpox. Those rat bastards.
Mhm.
Yes, Fart Doctor agrees, and he's an educated man too, and he knows. He knows about the alcohol and women and being an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
And Jordy knows. They know in Scotland. They know. Yeah, but the thing is, with Scottish and Irish girls, they can handle their liquor so well that it would take a long time to get them very
In
horny.
that special place. Yeah.
Yeah, to build up the horniness. It would probably take towards the end of the wedding reception.
Well, that's all you need because towards the end, you're wanting to leave and you're wanting to do some extra
Testi-
curricular activities.
extra testicular activities. Now,
Yeah, exactly.
Rock and Paul he knows a lot of hot looking models, but he says I'm gonna hook you up, James. A long time ago, he says I'm gonna hook you up, James. He hasn't done it yet.
I'll
Maybe
bring it to his attention, man. Where's the hot mamas you promised me, man? Come on.
because he yeah, I'm very meticulous in my taste, but he's very busy. Let's put it that way. His business with the tie-dye designs is
Oh,
growing, skyrocketing by leaps and bounds. By leaps and bounds. Jordy says. Cholula hot sauce and Frank's Red Hot. Yeah. And also at the Dollar Tree, which is a chain of dollar stores now nationwide, I get
yep. Got a
I
few
get
here.
I get Louisiana's best hot sauce, which I feel is high quality. And I also like the Trader Joe habanero and the chili pepper hot sauces at a reasonable price, and they're very
You
good.
know, that Louisiana one you're talking about is really good. Now, generally, I go with the Frank's hot sauce,
Frank
usually.
is good.
Yeah, Frank's good.
I never met a famous hot sauce I didn't like. Bart Robinson, cool, cool, cuckoo, Mr. Bart Robinson. Remember that song?
Yeah.
This is Bart Robinson,
Simon and Garfunkel, yeah.
Simon and Garfunkel,
Yeah.
Simon and Carbuncle. Hold on, the Levity Bell.
Sazerac and, I don't know. Simon and Garfunkel. I'm trying to think of something else for that, but
Simon
can't
and
think of
Garfunkel. That's pretty
it.
funny.
Yeah.
I like giving funny nicknames to everybody and everything.
Yeah. It's like
Oh
we had
boy.
this one girl called
I
Like,
never had the ghost pepper. I noticed the hottest peppers on earth are all wrinkly, like a Shar dog or English bulldogs. They're all crackly and wrinkly. The ghost pepper, I think the scorpion chili of Trinidad, which is actually hotter than the ghost pepper, and the the worst, I mean, the most powerful would be Carolina Reaper. They're all like very wrinkled hot peppers.
oh, kind of like a raisin, maybe wrinkled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
naturally they become wrinkled. Now habanero and a Scotch bonnet looks like a little tiny orange pumpkin. They're round.
Oh, okay.
They're round, but they're powerful. I mean, don't they're nothing to shake a stick at. They're. I mean, I don't want a hot pepper so powerful in Scoville units that I cannot taste the food I'm eating.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's the point? I mean, if you're
Yes,
just eating the pepper for a challenge, that's one thing. But if you're having it in food, there's no point because that heat and taste of the pepper is gonna drown out everything else. So
now Eric Fraunfelter showed me on video off the air on Facebook Messenger some YouTube videos of these lunatics that take on challenges where the guy had like several Carolina Reapers, raw, fresh Carolina Reapers on the table in front of him, and he ate every one in a certain amount of time. He only had a certain amount of seconds to eat them, and he's like crunch, 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 swallow, crunch, 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 swallow, and then it looked like he was going to die. For what? What are you? I mean, is he winning a prize like the Powerball lottery or something to put his health on the line like that?
he's doing it for the notoriety. That's what he's doing it for.
Because
Is
he's an attention whore and he needs to do anything to get attention, to be like in the spotlight.
yeah, be in the spotlight. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, I'm not a macro fan. I know some people are macro beers.
no,
Yeah,
me.
Paul really outdid himself last night. I accompanied him with the African djembe drum, and they do it for pride, for ego. Pay attention to me. Uh, I didn't get enough attention when I grew up. My parents didn't. Like in the Seinfeld episode, the superintendent was talking about Jerry being egotistical and narcissistic. Love me, accept me, uh, like me, please, like me. He was doing that, making fun of him. But that's
You
how.
know, I'm sure you are too, but I'm glad I'm a Gen Xer, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's one of them things where it's like we don't think about ourselves, but it's like
Well,
what is it, the generation or two afterwards started doing that? I was like, come on, man.
but I'm not afraid to say no. Like if there's something I won't do, if it's against my principles, if it's against my integrity, or if it's just plain stupid, I'm not
Yeah,
afraid to say no. I'm not going to do something just for the sake of having a lot of clicks, a lot of views or likes on my social media. I'll
yeah,
tell like it is. And if somebody posts a stupid ass comment and they try to troll me, and they happen to be a very wealthy person, believe me, I will not kiss their ass. I will tell
yeah,
like it is. Really, if Jeff Bezos, well, he's too intelligent to say anything stupid. But
yeah. This is
let's
true.
let's say Jeff Bezos was intoxicated and he got obnoxious on my show. I'll tell him off too and tell
Yeah,
him his head looks like a dildo.
yeah. That's the thing. I hate to say it, but it's like, okay, cool. I don't mind saying talking, but people that know me well know that I have no trouble saying what's on my mind. And sometimes that's a good thing. Other times that's what gets me in trouble. It's like that's not even with alcohol involved. It's just like I hate to sound like I don't care, but I don't care.
I don't care
Sometimes
either.
things, yeah,
What,
sometimes things need to be said.
what people think. You speak your mind. You don't care if they like you, they love you, they hate you. They're
Yeah,
Well, Jordy, I don't want to make this an alcohol-based show like those other people, but I will tell you what I am drinking. I'm drinking a combination of Ho, which is what I call H2O. I call it Ho for short, with with four different varieties of Trader Joe healthy antioxidant rich teas, which means I have no alcohol in the house whatsoever. Fandango Friday was my last bottle, and it was an airline bottle. It was actually a German company called The Bitter Truth. It was a combination of pink gin with bitters, European bitters, and it was good, but I thought it would be better mixed with tonic water because tonic water kind of has a bitter taste along with the lemon lime. You know,
Yeah, and then you got that carbonation to make it look like a actual drink. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, as opposed to a gin martini, I would have put it in tonic water.
Yeah. You know, we were talking. What was that? I was on Rod's show and we were talking about martinis. And it was like, well, true martini has like mostly gin and then something else. I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Unless you
from
start
dry
getting,
vermouth. It's
yeah,
dry. It's one part, 2 parts gin or vodka, 1 part dry vermouth.
yeah. Unless you're trying to make that James Bond martini, and then I know like two different versions of that. So, I mean,
Yeah, I'm not. I'm part of Fandango Friday, but I'm not a booze hound. Like in other words,
yeah,
I drink for the flavor and to take the edge off of life to help relax me when I'm stressed. That's it.
yeah,
I'm not like some of these guys. They'll review one, let's say, Imperial IPA, and they'll have a 6 pack or a case right alongside of them. They have to finish the whole case or 6 pack and get intoxicated at the end of the show. I won't
yeah.
do that. I might drink one more. I might drink one more, but I'm not a lush. I'm not a lush because every one of my appearances is always sober. I want to be in control of, uh,
Yeah.
uh, of everything that happens at all times. So, yeah. Now, Ronnie Simpson, as as highly intelligent as he is, even though he doesn't give me a chance to talk, he talks nonstop. Paul does the same thing. He doesn't come up for air. He doesn't stop. It's like bing, 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 yakety, 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 yakety. And I try to talk, and they don't let me talk. Now, Ronnie,
Oh,
now Paul doesn't drink. Paul does not drink alcoholic beverages, but Ronnie gets very intoxicated and wants to come on shows. And he is a very nasty, bad drunk. He tries to pick fights and be controversial and debate and bust my balls because he knows that I'm an extreme left winger and he's a flag waving right winger. So him and this other guy, Salvatore Mercurio, they are obsessed fanatics, right wing fanatics. They talk about politics nonstop every fucking day, every fucking waking moment.
God, no,
Almost like
no.
they're getting paid off by the corporate CEOs. They're on the
Yeah,
tape or something. They're not getting paid. Uh, you know what's
yeah.
good? Celery juice is really rich, Jordy, in electrolyte minerals. If you're into sports and you mix up celery juice with, let's say, any member of the cabbage family, because cabbage is one of the most nutritionally dense vegetables of all. It's on the top. And you put some carrots in there, make sure you peel them because you don't know what pesticides might be on the skin of the carrots. And or you could soak your produce in a bucket. You get yourself like a 5-gallon bucket, and you put water in it. Put a handful of baking soda, and put a long dash of white vinegar, and that is your homemade produce wash to get the pesticides off and kill anything that shouldn't be on there, and then you rinse it. But Don't buy waxed apples because the pesticides are sealed under the wax, so you have to peel it. But yeah, I would do that. You can put you can juice if you have a good juicer, juice extractor like Omega brand is great. Slow
That's
masticating.
what time it is.
Yeah, check it
Hate to
out.
interrupt. It's
Slow
time.
mass. Yeah, time to check the meat and show the meat too. Hold on.
Yeah, see that?
Oh, look at that baby. Look at that pork loin with his patented cornbread, onion, and mushroom stuffing.
You see I'm spritzing it, yeah?
Man, look at that. Look at that there. Hold on. I got to give you a full. Let me give you a bird's eye view of that. Hey, take it. Let's see a bird's eye view of that smoking pork loin.
Can you see this? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I see it, man. I see it. I see it. See what I would do. What I would do is I would put soaked water-logged wood chips in that pan you got on the bottom.
Oh, that's more of a dripping pan. So
Oh,
I generally put mine on the charcoals there. So we're doing good. We're doing good.
we're doing good, and the show is a blast. I really will say now, Jody, the best Omega juicer is the one that where the one where the pulp and the juice comes out sideways to the side. That's a slow masticating juicer, not a masturbating juicer, but a masticating juicer. And you can put a slice of fresh ginger in there, one or two garlic cloves. Make it really medicinal. You know what I mean? You could do so much, but definitely use any member of the cabbage family and as your base, and celery for electrolytes. If you have kale as a cabbage, bok choy, all forms of cabbages, broccoli, of course, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. But you don't want to use the expensive stuff for juicing. Use like cabbage, bok choy, kale, collard greens. You use the cheaper greens. Put the celery in, do the carrots, and you'll have a drink that's much better than any advertised sports drink on the market. There you go. All right. Yeah. Of course, everybody didn't even pay attention to what I said about the juicer. They go right through. They got sidetracked by your pork loin.
Heck, I'll be
No,
sidetracked by
no,
my
here we go. He's reading it. No, you're not going to put that much garlic. I put one clove with the skin because the skin has like quercetin, has bioflavonoids. Same thing with the orange. The skin and the lemon. Skin has got the oil in the rind has more medicinal value than the juice that's in the citrus. So, but if you're going to drink a juice with garlic in it and you're with a girl, make sure the girl drinks it also, because you got to have the both of you. If you start doing the horizontal lambada, you have to both stink. All right. Fart doctor. Yes, it does. It does look delicious. I guarantee. So there he is. BC Beer Reviews. He's sitting at his lovely steel or whatever steel picnic table with umbrella.
Yep.
And
Got a table with an umbrella with 4 chairs.
It's black. One of my favorite colors. It's black.
Yeah. Matches the deck. The deck's black too, so is the grill. Can you see the grill in the background?
Yeah, I definitely do. And you know what? It makes your white shirt stand out more.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have another buddy that if he comes on a show, but he's so sidetracked, he hasn't been on a show in a while. He wears white t-shirts and he has a shaved head, and I call him the original Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
now, if you got one, they actually sell electric shavers for bald guys. You hold
Oh
it.
yeah. No,
Yeah, it's like
what I use is like now I've been letting it grow in a little bit because it's starting to get colder now. I might shave it one more time
wear a hat.
before winter comes because I want to have at least some hair when winter comes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So
you always have hats. Wear a knitted like 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 this.
like
Like I'll show you this one. This is my favorite go-to hat for the cold weather. The old the Navy watch cap. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with this. I'm telling you. And then you could lower it over your ears. You could pull it down. I mean, and they're cheap. But you get a wool one. Like I go to a Army Navy, store, and
yeah.
you get yourself a good wool one. But if you got wool, do not ever put it in a dryer because you'll end up with a little watch cap fit for a monkey's head. It'll shrink down to nothing. Let it air dry, or if you hand wash it, But they're great. They're great for the cold weather. I also have a I have something my brother-in-law gave me. Hold on, let me show you. I haven't worn it yet because I'm embarrassed, but it's functional. I'll show you. Hold on. Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't worn it, and it still has the tag on it. But let me tell you, we've been having mild winters. We've been having mild winters. But if we ever have a bad one, we got this fucking thing. It's like what they wear in Siberia or Mongolia or something, right? It's made of real animal skin. Let's see. What does the tag say? The tag says, "Oh, it's made in Canada of highest quality material." They're not telling you what animal it came from. No, it can't be. Get the hell out of here, you son of a bitch. They're not telling me what animal. Oh, here, let me look at this other. Oh, it's wabbit.
yeah, I was about to say more likely it's rabbit. Yeah.
Cheap, cheap fur, but it's soft as hell. I mean, yeah. Oh, I'm sure it'll keep you warm, Jordy. It's we got Jordy says, thank you, Jordy. BC's here. I'm here. Yeah, yeah. It's effective.
Yeah,
That's
I've got a couple of them at the house. Yeah.
uh, well. I sent the link to Eric Fraunfelter. He was on the show last time I was on, and let's see. There's no telling where he is. I don't think he's on any booze hound shows at this early.
Yeah. Sunday, no. Yeah, I was
Not
surprised we brought box chicken last time. I was the only one that was cooking.
Oh, the chicken with the beer can up its ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So,
only problem is it cooked way before the show ever started.
oh, I know. Over calculated on that one.
Yeah, you never believe what a company tells you as far as cooking time. I mean, it's not just cooking meat. It's, let's say, boiling dumplings or pasta, ravioli, spaghetti. They tell you to boil it for a certain amount of time. Do not believe it. You'll end up with mush.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb is any pasta or dumpling of any kind made with dough, once it floats to the surface, strain it.
Yeah.
Get out. Strain it right away. It's done.
Nope.
Because then it'll have the right texture for chewing. Won't be too hard, won't be too soft.
It'll be like the gold legs on. It's just right.
It'll be Goldilocks zone dumplings and pasta. Exactly. Yeah, he's in Alpha Males. He's there. Yeah, Salvatore Mercurio. His occupation is he supplies fine coffee. A lot of it's imported to restaurants, of diners, restaurants. That's Sal's occupation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in. He grew up in Queens. He lives in Wayne, New Jersey, which is a lovely inland town, Passaic County. Interstate 80 west, off the GW. I am the second exit off the GW bridge. Like it's like GW, you get off, one, two, bing, and it goes right down the street where my street is off of. So I'm next to Fort Lee, pretty much. I'm not from here. I'm from Lodi, New Jersey, which is where Tony Soprano's Bada Bing is located.
That's a song. You know what I mean? And it's like I've heard that song. Like what is that? Tesla made a song like "Stuck in Lodi Again," and it's like it's kind of funny to hear that somebody wrote a song about a town that you're from.
Yeah, but
Well, I
there's
mean,
a Lodi, California. Don't forget now.
yeah.
It might be
So
Lodi, California. Yeah, and the Lodi, Italy. That's it. There's three of them. I was stuck in Lodi for a long time. I've only been here for 3 years.
oh, okay.
Uh,
Uh,
you know,
where
and
I've been at now, I've been here for like almost 10. And I lived in Ecorse before that for like 30 some odd years. So, I mean, that's a
Sal. No, I don't. Sal's on Facebook. Well, he got booted off of Facebook because of Mark Zuckerberg's anal retentive censorship. Putting people, suspending them and terminating them and putting them in Facebook prison. Then he came back. But I don't honestly. I don't think he has a YouTube channel, but he's on Facebook. Yeah, Lodi is inland. It's also off of Interstate Route 80 West, which happens to go right to San Francisco, California, from New York. So
yeah.
the very ending of Interstate Route 80 would be New York, San Francisco, and I think it goes by Chicago. Uh, and it's still called Interstate. Yeah,
All right.
I'm from
Hey,
here.
I've got to run inside real quick. Can you
Okay,
do this thing? I'll be back as soon as I can.
okay, all right. And then we got a good bird's eye view of the picnic table and his smoker grill. Lodi, yeah, Bada Bing's is on Route 17 South, and it's really called Satin Dolls, but that's where they filmed the strip club, Bada Bing. So that's where they sell the T-shirts, with the logo on it, the black T-shirts with the girl in the front. I was born in Paterson, New Jersey, Silk City, they called it. It used to be a big industrial city. It's like kind of in the middle of northern New Jersey, Passaic County, and it's surrounded by a mountainous area, and it used to be a very nice multi-ethnic area, but now it's like kind of like there's most of it is ghetto, with the exception of historic Paterson, which is quite nice, by the America's newest national park, the Great Falls. They have park rangers there and everything, and there's a turn of the century museum that's really nice. I know the curator. Giacomo Di Stefano. He's the curator. It's a beautiful museum. There's a lot of Industrial Revolution or turn of the century items, that go into 19th century too, and a lot of exhibits there. And the official National Colt Firearms exhibit is in that Patterson Historic Museum, and I did 2 videos, which is on YouTube, of that Colt Firearms exhibit because Samuel Colt and his company was in Patterson, New Jersey. So all the Wild Wild West guns that were made there. And he thanked me. Giacomo thanked me so much for those videos because it got so many people to visit this historic museum, which shows, I guess, early America. Some exhibits were 19th century, some were even before that. Like they have authentic wigwams, northeastern Native American homes reconstructed is there. The Lou Costello Memorial exhibit is there because Lou Costello was from Patterson, and it's nice. It's nice, but that's the only nice area around the historic area on Spruce Street, which is not far from Interstate 80 and Route 46. So, but they don't promote this museum. They don't promote the National Park of the Great Falls, which is the second largest waterfall in the United States, second to Niagara. They're not promoting it. They don't tell people how to get there easy and fast, because when people hear the word Patterson, they think of a bad area. So yeah, Satin Dolls is the Bada Bing. Exactly, that's where they filmed. It's not that. It's probably like about, honestly, without traffic, it's probably like around like a half hour's drive from the GW, the historic museum, the Great Falls. I told Giacomo Di Stefano, I says, you know what they should do? There's an old hydroelectric plant that was closed down a long time ago, right next to the falls. Why don't they, being that everybody is all green conscious now, the green movement, why don't they reopen that hydroelectric plant and use the electricity made by the Great Falls, which is pretty big, to supply electricity to the residents, the homeowners of Patterson, New Jersey? They haven't done that. They're so, the politician that made the Great Falls a national park, Democrat, what's his name again? He's a congressman. He made such a big speech, such a dramatic speech, that didn't, as a Democrat, he overlooked the fact that there's a closed hydroelectric plant there. Bill Pascrell, Congressman Bill Pascrell, which is in my district, is he's representative of me, of my district. He plays a violin when it opened up, but they don't promote it. They don't tell people how to get there quickly and safely, and nobody really knows about it. And that hydroelectric plant is just sitting there doing nothing. And these falls are high, powerful, and huge, they will generate a lot of free electricity. Well, why do I have to think of these things? So, I when I had Twitter, I used to put it on Twitter. Oh, some people said, "Oh, great idea." I even put it on his Twitter account, Congressman Bill Pascrell. No reply. Nothing. So a lot of Democrats are corporate whores too. It's not just Republicans. Colorado, Vail. Oh, you've been to Vail, Colorado? It's a dry cold. You know, like Arizona's a dry heat. Yeah, I'm right next to New York City. Right across actually. Yeah, Ronald Tirio, he was up here. We had a really great time, but a very unique, unexpected experience due to Mother Nature. Yeah, we drove, went to City Island in the Bronx for the best seafood I ever had. Beautiful area, so peaceful and quiet. But then when we drove through all the boroughs, including Upper Manhattan, to get to Brooklyn to visit Michael Komaroff, all I saw was disgusting graffiti everywhere, even on like private vehicles, delivery vans and stuff. And where are the cops? Where are Bill de Blasio's NYPD when all this fucking shit is happening? Unbelievable, 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 unbelievable. Oh yeah, well, Ron Terrio is very well rounded, like myself. We talk about anything important. We don't just talk about craft beer. Now there are people that do nothing but talk about craft beer. Unfortunately, I'm sure there are people that talk about golf 24/7. I don't. I don't like fanaticism. Don't like it. Oh, the Chislers Hall of Shame. I will start it up. I'm thinking of starting it up. I'm really thinking of starting it up next Saturday. Uh, you know, because I mean, the music show, the music and fashion oriented show was kind of cut short. I wanted it to be longer. So I know for a fact that men that have a significant other living with them, these women have a tendency to try to get their man off the show so they can pay more attention to them. Uh, how much longer are you going to be? How much longer are you going to be? When's the show going to end? When's the show going to end? You know what? When I used to go live back in Lodi, I told everybody, leave me the fuck alone. Do not disturb me. That's it. When I go live, I think about one thing only, professionalism. I don't like selfish individuals that if they have me every day and every night, they can't not have me for a few hours. I mean, come on, shut the fuck up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Talking about women who complain if their man is doing a live show for an hour or three, Sid, and they complain, try to get them off the show. Like they have to
You
have
know,
every waking fucking moment. They have to have
if they ain't complaining about someone doing an hour and a half show, they're complaining about how you're always around them all the time. And they need some space because you're right there. They can't breathe. It's like, make up your mind. It's one or the other, somewhere in between. Come on.
Yeah,
You want me to
do they have to be up your ass all the time? That's
They
not
think
good.
they do. They think they do.
That's not good. That's not good in a
No, it's
relationship.
not. I mean, they would not like it if we were up their ass all day long. But
Yeah.
they think it's okay for them to do that to us, though. So I don't know. It's
Well,
like,
my ex-wife, she don't like my hobbies. She don't like my live stream shows. She don't like me videoing anything interesting. She don't like my friends. She don't like that. What does she like? Now, if I spent 100% of my time with her, All she does is she had a puss on her face and she complained about money. So what's the point? What's the point in me giving her 100% focus and devotion if she's going to complain and about it, about everything? If she's going to look miserable, why? I might as well do my hobby. I might as well go
Yeah,
live. Oh,
because
I
it's
liked it. I wanted it to go longer, but
to
that's
me,
yeah.
from my experience, and this is just me talking from my own experience, situation like that, it's um, lose lose situation because you cannot win in a situation like that.
Yeah, because you know what they do? They know men have a higher sex drive than them, so what they do is they cut off the supply to be spiteful. Oh, you don't want to jump. You don't want to jump when I say jump. You don't ask me how high. Well, guess what? You're gonna sleep on the sofa because you ain't getting this bearded cherry stone clam.
You know, I had one that tried that with me, and oh, you ain't getting enough for a month. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. Okay, keep talking there. I'll find somebody that else. I'll find somebody else that'll give in to my needs. Yeah, and she was
My
like,
my
what?
sister, my sister says it's better to be alone and content and happy with peace of mind than to be attached and be under stress all the time.
Yeah.
And she's right. She's right. Yeah, Sid. Yes, Sid. I try to tell Paul Mantia and I haven't told BC yet, but really do your best to cut down on smoking. If you got to get a nicotine patch, get a nicotine patch.
Uh, oh, you
My
guys
brother,
talking about I should cut down on my smoking?
yeah, that's what my brother chain smokes, and I tell
Yeah.
him, and he tells me, yeah, 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 brother, I hear you, brother. Yeah, I know I should. Yeah, brother. Yeah, yes is me to death. But
You
guess what?
know,
He's still doing it.
yeah.
It's always
My
about
boss,
money.
he should be lucky in a way. You know, he complains that I smoke too much. And I was like, he tries to get me to quit smoking. I actually told him, I was like, the only one that's going to want to quit smoking is me. And you think I'm going to stop because you're telling me to stop smoking? No, that's not going to happen. And it's like, no, BC, nothing. See, this is my life. This is my choice. I'll do what I want. You don't see me bossing you around, telling you how you should live your life. But you feel the need to tell me what I need to do.
Well,
It's like,
yeah, the person has to acknowledge themselves that they have a problem that they need to fix or they need to stop, and but the person has to acknowledge it, not other people nagging them. Not other people saying, why do you do this, why do you do that, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. You have to make the decision in your mind.
yeah, this is true. This is
you know
very true.
you know that's it. Now Sid Ragunath, that owned Hogwood. I don't know what that means, but he is a great red pill, men going their own way, alpha male advocate. And he says, I can't see the value in marriage in any circumstance unless the female has more money and assets. Well, you know what happens as soon as you get married, especially if you have one kid. Oh my God! According to the law, she can take you to the cleaners. You're over a barrel. My,
Yeah,
my brother my brother has to live in a house with a woman where there's no love, there's no romance, there's no compatibility anymore. They're like roommates almost, and he has to stay there because he has one more child that's young, that's a minor. The other one turned 18. That's not the issue. She has one more child that's a minor, and the law plays favoritism towards a woman, even though we're supposed to have equality with the feminism, we're supposed to be equal. No, no, no. They favor a woman, especially if she has a kid, because, oh, heaven forbid the kids should grow up like I had to grow up. No, they're coddled and spoiled today, you know, and they need a huge child support payments every fucking week, you know. So, he's stuck there. He says, if I sell the house, then she's gonna come after, alimony, and because she's, he owns a business. And what did she do when he first married her? She quit her job. She quit her job as a hair salon stylist and whatever, and she became a stay-at-home mom, because I don't call her a homemaker because she doesn't do anything. She don't do his laundry. She don't really clean much. She doesn't cook at all. My brother comes home from running an auto body shop, and he has to go out and get a pizza or Chinese takeout, and he has to tolerate it, because if he doesn't tolerate it, she'll go and get a lawyer and take him to the cleaners. Now you see the situation, Sid. What's going on? The unfairness, the what do you call double standard, dirty double standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, money and sex. Money always comes up with the female. It's almost
Yeah.
like they would sleep with the devil himself for the sake of money. Out of wedlock. Yeah, it's better to have kids out of wedlock. I mean wedlock. Now, you ever notice? Now, when I say the reason why I said women would sleep with Satan for the sake of money, is because you ever see a lot of good-looking girls with downright ugly guys,
Yeah.
hot
Yeah.
girls with ugly guys.
That's their sugar daddy. That's what that is.
Yeah, but they're able to spread their legs and lie down for the ugly bastard sugar daddy. But guys are very picky. They can't listen if they don't feel the physical chemistry. They can't get an erection.
Yeah.
They got where women probably just close their eyes and put some Astroglide in there, and any ugly bitch.
Yeah.
Look at Pam. Look at the late Anna Nicole Smith married that 90-year-old geezer. He was funny
I
looking.
forgot about her. Yes.
Yeah, he said. You know what she said when they call her gold digger? She says, because she was a go-go dancer living in a trailer. When he met her, she says, "Oh, I loves him." Oh, yeah, you loves him.
Yeah. While she's having sex with somebody else. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
had the disclaimer in the fine print. I loves him bank account.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We got to start. If they want equality, it's got to be called right down the line. It has to be. They have to pay for their own dates if they're not going steady with the guy. Otherwise, whoever invites, sometimes she pays, sometimes he pays. If they have a job, they should also pay.
Yeah.
They won't do if they're on the job and they're crying and they want same pay as man. How come when they're on the job and they got the fingernails manicured and they're calling the big strong looking guy in the company to come over and lift the boxes and put them on the shelf? Why is that? Right? I mean, they want to be equal, right?
I figured it's their job to do that. So
No, they want to become all high powered.
no, they figured it's a man's job to do that. That's what I'm saying. Because the big strong guy, he can move boxes. Ooh, I can move boxes.
Yeah, or be a plumber, or be a.
Yeah. It's like we're a bunch of cavemen or something. No. Yeah. Some of us actually do have minds of our own and think what we want to think, regardless of what they say.
Well, they do treat men like we're mules, beasts of burden, that we do all the dirty work, but look, if they're qualified to be an editor of a magazine or a CEO or a doctor or lawyer, fine, but they have to be qualified. No, none of this affirmative action stuff. They have to be qualified.
Either affirmative action, women's live, or a feminist.
Right. Well, the feminist is a man. Is a male hater, a man hater.
Yeah.
She's a man eater. Oh, here she comes. Look out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes.
Oh,
She's
no
a
song.
man eater. Dum, boom, 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 boom. Remember that song? Hey, you see how great these shows are? It's like you're planning on doing barbecue, but we have time to shoot the shit here and talk some red pill talk. And
Yeah.
Sid is great. Yeah,
It's
they
getting
want.
some good info here, man. You got one guy from the Midwest, and you've got one guy from the East Coast, giving maybe pretty much kind of the same thing, maybe worded differently, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, women want their cake and eat it, Sid. They want
Yeah.
equality when it comes to making money, but when it comes to personal interaction, relationships, they still want special treatment. They
All
still
right.
want.
Well, I got to turn this pork loin around. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but let's
Well,
give it a shot.
I'm gonna zero in on you. Oh, here she comes. Look out, pork loin. We'll chew you up. Oh, here it comes. It's the smoked pork loin. Oh, look, it's getting brown. It's getting brown.
You got to turn it around and spritz it while I'm here.
Turn it around because it's getting brown.
Yeah, peeled a little bit off. Oops.
All right, I gotta pause on the reviews because we have to see the barbecue smoking action here. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater.
Right. I throw in some extra smoked chips for.
Extra smoke chips. You better believe it.
Yep.
And then we'll go back to some more nice red pill talk. There we go. Oh, here she comes. Women will eventually force single men to pay a tax to women directly once men go on a marriage strike. Yeah, conjugal duties. Did they ever hear of not supplying the marital conjugal duties is grounds for divorce? Don't women know that when they make the man sleep on a couch, on a sofa? Don't they know that?
No, they don't think of that. All they're thinking about is themselves.
Yeah.
Or me.
And you know why they get away with that? It's because they know men crave sex a lot more than they do. And they're using that against the man. Ugly old men with beautiful young women only means that guy has money or some type of power status. That's right, like a politician. That's why I'm surprised all those girls, all those so-called ladies were so nitpicky with Andrew Cuomo. I mean, the guy is divorced. He was just trying, he wants to get laid. He's looking for a girlfriend. He's unattached. But I think that was an excuse for the Democratic Party to get rid of him because of the seniors that died in a nursing home. I think that was it. In the alpha fucks, beta bucks. Oh yeah, without a doubt. The woman, especially when she becomes an older cougar and her sex drive reaches its peak, oh, she definitely does fuck the alpha. But it's usually a younger guy. I think there's a lot of validity to this concept once the sexual market becomes, well, when a woman hits the wall, and you've heard that from the guys like Coach Greg Adams, when a woman hits she loses her sexual market value.
Yeah, I used to watch him and Coach Red Pill a lot.
Yeah. What's the other one? Tinder is loaded with social media, so-called aspiring models or hoochies Uh, but there's also a lot of fake profile scammers out there,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
Mark Zuckerberg allows a lot of them in Facebook, and Tinder is saturated with
yeah. Instagram's kind of the same way. I can't tell you how many times I've had chicks on Instagram or Twitter coming at me. Oh, hi, how you doing? Are you single? You want to be my boyfriend? No. Block. And I was like, no. Because I know where this is going because all these chicks are about that money.
it.
And
Yeah.
you guess what?
Well,
My
until their
money's more
until their
in my
sexual
pocket
market until their sexual market value starts to
decrease.
decline. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Women,
seen one. I mean, she was like a Latino or like Colombian, that type of thing. And I tell you one thing. Oh my goodness, she was so hot. I mean, one of the whatever the hottest chick you could ever think of, that was her. And I must have a heart of stone. It was like she asked me for money. I was like, I just blocked her. I was like, nope, that ain't happening. Well, I've got a kid. I've got a grandma. Yeah, well, what were you doing before you met me? Huh? And I
right?
was like, yeah. It was like, I've got my own bills to pay. Oh, come on, come on. I want some money. No, nope, block. So, and all I got was never talk to me again. You're a wicked man. Yeah, you best believe it. Yeah. You think you're going to get over on BC? Nah, not today. Oh, she learned that day.
Well, the women, in answer to Sid, uh, the women have power naturally over the beta male because the beta simp is not an alpha male, so he will never uh, tell the attractive woman that is almost hitting the wall the truth. He will never tell her the truth. He will never tell her how he really feels, and he will never say no. I am not going to comply with that.
Yeah.
He will brown nose her. He's a sycophant because
Basically, avoiding confrontation, basically. Yeah.
because he don't want to lose the old poontang there, the old
Yeah.
beard.
Whenever she feels to give it up. You
Yeah, he
know,
won't he don't want to give that up and be unattached, because but she will once he gets laid off and because of the pandemic or possibly and the bank is threatening to foreclose on the mortgage.
yeah.
She's
With the
gone
kids.
banging the chads like
Yeah.
my guess. Who? BC?
Yeah. Michigan. Yeah.
Michigan.
Oh,
Yeah, they're allowed, all right. Sometimes I wonder if old Eagle Beak, control freak geek Zuckerberg doesn't get a cut of it. I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah.
Or Tinder, Fart Doctor. There's too many scammers in the red pill now, like Rich Cooper and Rollo Tomasi. I never heard of them. Cooper charges dudes $2,000. Excuse me, $2,000 an hour to talk on Skype about doing the work, quote unquote, and sells 20 bar. He's selling soap. Hey, I don't need to buy any special fucking soap. I don't need to join the shave club. They got their special razors, special this, special that. They got them advertise all this bullshit. I don't need to do that because I get fantastic soap from the dollar store with
Yeah.
coconut oil. It's super moisturizing. I get 4 bars for $1. I
Man,
use
I get
I use
12
12.
bars of Irish Spring for 4.25 at $5 million.
There
And
you go. There you
I
go.
mean, it smells great. It looks great. I love using it. And I do not need no special soap. I mean, there's a hand cream that I use that's designed for men. And okay, that's about the only thing I've got that's special, I guess you can say. And I wash my hands a lot, so my hands get dried out. So that's why I've got this hand lotion. Other than that,
Yeah.
everything is from Family Dollar. Soap, shampoo, dish soap, cleaning supplies, you name it. I get it from there.
Well, that's why I
And
get the cream moisturizing coconut oil or shea butter, because I know my hands are gonna be bone dry because I wash them like I wash my mask, my keys, my hand sanitizer bottle. As soon as I get home, I go right for the kitchen sink. But the point, and I use the scraps in. I got the Badger hair shaving brush, and I have a special mug, and I
yeah,
put the scraps in there, and I use it for a hand soap in the bathroom. I don't throw away soap scraps like a lot of these women. As soon as they have a soap scrap, they toss it.
yeah.
Hell no. You put a little hot water in there, and all the scraps congeal. They come together into one big jagged
One
bar.
big bar.
That's right. That's right. Oh, Sid wants to know: is Midland, Michigan, a good area?
Yeah, it's a good area. It's kind of like out in the country.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, special soap. But listen, all cosmetic. Okay, okay.
I'll be
No,
right back. Hold
do
on.
what you got to do. The cosmetics industry, infomercials, everybody tries to get you to part with your hard-earned money, telling you that what they have is really special and unique and the best you could buy. It's a total lie. And I've never bought an infomercial product that lived up to its commercial. It's all garbage. Um, for $20, I got that Bell and Howell rotary electric shaver, rechargeable. Let me tell you something. All right, my whiskers are coarse. I'm doing it. If I apply even a little bit of pressure with the electric razor, it stops. What kind of a fucking motor is in here? I'd rather spend $10 more and buy a Remington foil rechargeable wet dry electric razor. It comes with the USB charger. A little Western railroad sound here.
Yeah, I live about 100 feet from a railroad track, so
Donovan,
we get
it's good.
trains by here all the time.
Yeah, but it's good. It's got that. It's kind of tied into the barbecuing, like my theme song. It's called Gunslingers. It's not a copyright free Western song. That's the song I play.
Like the TV show.
No, it's a non copyrighted version of a Gunslinger song. So when you listen to it,
I was thinking of Gunsmoke.
no,
Yeah.
it has that Western sound because with the chicken, with the big chest, it kind of goes with the barbecue.
Yeah.
So that's why I play it. Donovan
Well,
Sharp is a dude in his 40s that charges men $2,000 a person to go to his conference and married a 45-year-old single. What a hypocrite! He married a single mom, which means he's he's taking care of
oh,
somebody
come
else.
on now. You know he ain't taking care of that kid. The only type of responsibility he is financially. Other than that, he is not doing nothing. Do you really think that kid's going to listen to anything he's got to say?
Now,
That's not his role, Dad. He's not going to listen to nothing. And you know the mom's going to protect him. The only thing he's going to do is maybe bail him out of jail, and that's it. Any other fatherly duties, you can forget it. No.
no, because what's going to happen is, once a woman has a child, the man, and I'm glad I'm bringing this up. It's very important. Once a woman has a child, whether she's a single mom, divorced, or whether it's your kid, you automatically play second fiddle to the kid.
Yeah.
You're not number one anymore. You
You're
never
number
go.
two.
You're number two,
Hell,
and you'll
in some
never
cases,
be
you're
higher
number three because it's the kid, then the mom, and then you. So you're number three.
right. Or if you date somebody with her precious little pedigree dog and a kid by another man, you might be number three. You
Yeah.
might be number three. Oh my God, you have to accept. And then she wants you to be an instant daddy to somebody else's kid, and she'll say, oh, that rat fink ex-husband doesn't want to pay child support. Well, how much are you asking? How much is your lawyer trying to scam him out of? I mean, there's always two sides to every story. You know,
Yeah.
that's funny though. Fart Doctor sells his own pheromones, so that it is funny.
Yeah.
Who this gentleman? Did you grow up in the Detroit suburb?
Yes, I
BC?
did. Yes, I did. I grew up 3 cities outside of Detroit, which to me was to me, in my opinion, like an extension of Detroit. Okay, and it was a predominantly black neighborhood. It was ghetto, and you know that's kind of why I kind of act the way I do, or maybe talk the way I do. So I mean, it's just one of the things. So
Motown, the land of Motown, the Motor City,
yeah,
and also Tiger Stadium. I thought was a very well. The old Tiger Stadium was a very well architecturally designed stadium because you had bleachers going all the way around, upper tier,
yeah.
top tier, all the way around.
I've got fond memories of Old Tiger Stadium. And, I know I've talked about this, but my two youngest brothers used to be in the Boy Scouts. And I would have to go downtown Detroit to pick up merit badges, this, that, and whatnot in Detroit at the Three Rivers District of Boy Scouts of America. And, I would take a route from Jefferson all the way up until I got to Trumbull. And when I got to Trumbull, that went across Michigan Ave, and Old Tiger Stadium was on the corner of Michigan and Trumbull. And sure enough, Tiger Stadium was there. I would drive by just to look at Old Tiger Stadium because I've gone to a few games and I've loved watching the Tigers playing at the old stadium. I mean, I love watching them now at the new one, but I just got fond memories of the old one.
But
I've,
it was the only one that was designed to have I think the maximum seating because the bleachers were all the way around.
yeah, and I've got one of them plaques of the final game with the Detroit Tigers back in I think '99 against the Kansas City Royals, and I've got that hanging up in my living room right now. Yeah, and I am so glad I've got that picture hanging up in my wall. It's just crazy. I thought
Willie,
$55 was a little bit too much for that, but you know what? Sometimes you can't put a price on nostalgia.
I remember
And
Willie Horton, Al Kaline, Ed Brinkman,
Alan,
let's
Kirk
yeah,
Gibson,
Gates
Ricky
Brown.
Anderson,
Yeah. I remember the old 1970s Tigers. They were tough. Willie Horton was their slugger, and later on, you had was it Manny Ramirez? Was it Manny Ramirez? No, it was who was the Dominican guy, the slugger? No, it wasn't. Oh man.
I say Cecil Fielder, but I don't think that's who you're talking about.
No,
It,
no, no, no. Cecil Fielder and Prince Fielder is his son. No,
yeah, yeah,
the other guy is a Spanish guy. I think he's Dominican. He's well built. It'll hit me. No, I
yeah.
don't approve of
Maybe
getting
Sosa.
involved. No, he was with the Cubs. Um, 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 oh man, son of a bitch. I know Trummel was Sparky Anderson
Yeah,
was Sparky. He played when Sparky Anderson managed the
yeah.
Tigers.
When he was GM, yeah, or at least coach there in the dugout. Yeah,
Yeah, pheromones. I got suckered into ordering pheromone cologne. It didn't. It just attracted gnats. It attracted gnats.
Well, I'd much rather have it attracted Nads than Nads.
Ads. Pheromone. Rich Cooper sells pheromone. So you see how I think Sid is right. All these scammers are coming out of the woodwork, entering the red pill community, just like all other communities are having social media scammers.
Yeah.
Anybody with the money that has an underhanded mentality is getting involved in everything, saturating capitalism with scammers.
You know,
No,
I
look,
hate them scammers. I hate them so much. I really do.
you know
I
what?
can't. Ooh,
I despise them. They're sociopaths. They have no remorse for what they do. You know what? All you guys that have all these,
free time
yeah,
to do
all
this
these,
stuff.
yeah, all you
Get
guys
up and get a job.
well, no, all you guys that know all these scammers that are great inductees into the Chiselers Hall of Shame. If you're going to be around Saturday night around 9 p.m., I'm seriously considering doing a Chiselers Hall of Shame consumer advocate show. Yeah, I am because there's a lot of people to expose. I can expose like restaurant owners. I could expose bar owners that do not practice good customer service at all. Yeah, now we need to. If you guys are gonna be like around on a Saturday night, just tip me off. Uh, well, Midland. Well, you don't want to be out in a one horse town, Sid, because you'll get bored.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I've been in a one horse town or less than, and you know how boring it is out there in the country when you're stuck in the middle of a cornfield. It's pretty freaking boring. It reminded me when I was a kid. Maybe you were the same way. I don't know. But when we were kids, or at least when I was a kid, we didn't have smartphones. We didn't have the internet. All we had was outside and our imagination. And, you know, uh, when I was stuck out in the middle of the boonies, that came back. All I had was my imagination and outside. It's like you could only do so much. Yeah.
what are you gonna? End up talking to the trees and the rose bushes and the freaking. I mean, it gets. Oh, Fart Doctor is right. Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and Orlando Cabrera, I believe, was the shortstop for the. Was it Orlando Cabrera for the Red Sox when they broke the curse of the Bambino when they won their first World.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. When they won the World Series, yeah.
I think it was Orlando Cabrera. I could be wrong, but he's from my ex-wife's area of Cartagena, Colombia. He was Colombian. Orlando Cabrera. Um, I think it was Orlando Cabrera. Yeah. Uh,
You
just
know,
like
who brought that up? The fart doctor?
yeah, Fart Doctor just said Juan Gonzalez and Miguel Cabrera was with the Tigers.
He should come up on the show, man, for extra banter. Yeah, he's
Even
coming up
even
with
if
some good stuff.
even if he doesn't want to do video, he could use that icon of his, and he can come on the show by way of audio, and they
Yeah, yeah,
people won't know who he is because he calls himself Fart Doctor.
yeah.
I mean, I think
I
it'll.
mean, if he feels fine with just doing the banners at the bottom, okay, so be it. But if I'm sure James will be accommodating and
Yeah,
let him on.
and
So, hey,
if anybody wants to see a gastroenterologist in Midtown Manhattan, they can private message uh, either him at another location, or they can private message the show, and well, I don't have his Facebook Messenger, but they could he could, they can put a comment in the comments section, and they can come on down.
Yeah.
Come on down and see him, and I'm sure he lassos polyps. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Uh, Now, Sid is infatuated with Michigan for some reason. Why Michigan? What about somewhere where there's nice dry heat, like Tucson, Arizona, or San Diego, or yeah, forget about Florida. It's a cesspool now. There's no mosquitoes in those dry heat areas. Um, oh, the suburbs of Las Vegas. You know how many beautiful foreclosed homes with in-ground pools are boarded up there at a discount because all the casino workers were laid off and they foreclosed on them.
Yeah, because of the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, jump on it. I saw it. I saw it on 60 Minutes one time. They're all boarded up. They're beautiful, beautiful, like desert style cement block and steel with the tile roofs, the Spanish tile roofs.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure they're
terracotta.
going pennies for the dollar too.
Yeah,
So
you don't want to go. You don't want to go where the winters are severe. Are you kidding me?
yeah, I mean, we get some pretty bad winters here, man. Sometimes I remember 4 or 5 years ago. I remember in the middle of the day, and this is like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a -45 with wind chill, and oh my god. I thought I'd been in some brutal winters, man, but that day was exceptionally brutal.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Tennessee. I know a friend in Tennessee that got a concealed carry permit really fast, and that's how it is in Tennessee. They do a quick background check, and you get it quick. And yeah, I know Tennessee. Tennessee's Tennessee. It's a red state. It's landlocked. There's lots of freshwater fishing and hunting. There's no ocean. Me, I like. I'm used to being so close to the sea that I don't know. I don't know if I can ever live inland.
Yeah.
Unless it's a wealthy, very succulent hot woman that lives inland, and I might consider it. But she has to be creme de la creme. She has to be creme de la creme. Okay, I'll be right back, and you just tell people what you do on your own with your videos, and let them look at that, and I'll be back in a flash.
All right. Well, gotta see this pork loin. This pork loin's turned out pretty good. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I know James kind of knows me, but he knows I love barbecue. And more to the point, smoking. Oh, I love smoking. As you guys can tell. And where about we're about 7 degrees from our target temp. I'm at 143 degrees right now with my what is that pork loin. So I'm almost there with my pork loin with the temperature. So I've already got my baked beans warmed up. I've got my pasta salad chilling in the refrigerator, and it'll be about that time. So, I mean, me, I've always lived in the state of Michigan. Always did. So, Maybe I'm a fool, but I can't see myself living nowhere else. I really can't. So, I don't know what else to say, but I just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what's everybody else doing out there in TV land or YouTube land, I should say?
Oh, I'm back.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, it's what you grew up with. It's what you're used to.
Yeah, that's all I know. I mean, other than the people I meet, like say you or Ron or people online, like
Yeah.
the beer community. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys, for the most part, you guys are some great folks, man. I'll tell you that right now. You guys are some great folks.
Well, there's a handful of us, but not all. Just
Yeah,
like anywhere in social media. I never
yeah,
been to Michigan, Sid. I never been. I've been to Chicago. I've been through uh, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana. I've been through it. Not. I never stopped, but I've been to Illinois. But
Like, um, James, my screen's frozen. I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna come right back. So it'll be
yeah.
like instantaneous. Okay.
Well, also check your power. You might have to go inside and plug it in.
I'm at what is it? 62% right now, so I'm
Oh,
good.
that's not
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave and come back.
bad. Okay. Yeah, because it's not bad. Almost 2 hours into the show. Almost.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not bad. 62%.
yeah. Yeah, I'll be
All
right back. Let's
right.
see if
Okay.
I can leave.
Yeah, you just hit leave.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh yeah, the touch screen doesn't always cooperate. You got to keep on like a woodpecker. You got to keep on
Yeah,
hitting touch screen. Leave, like the little you know little button that says leave, but it's not letting you leave.
yeah.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, red pill talk is very important, guys, because I don't like hypocrites and double standards. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, and I don't like people being exploited in any way, used. I mean, guys can be rotten too. Don't get me wrong. Um, there's a lot of women that were burnt in relationships, and it's very sad. Um, but I think that if a woman conceives, she should ask the father if he wants to be a parent. And if he doesn't, and she keeps the baby, they shouldn't go after him for child support. Because you can have an easy abortion at conception because it's nothing. It's not a baby at all. There he is.
Well,
He's
I'll tell
back.
you one thing. The timer just went off. I'm at
You mean,
150, and it took one almost 2 hours to cook this thing. I'm at 156,
yeah, but the timing is
so it took
perfect.
almost 2 hours to cook this thing.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah,
timing for the
but
show
what
is
I'm going to do is I'm going to run into. Well, yeah, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run in the house, grab a cookie sheet and another thermostat or a thermometer
right.
to make sure that this thermometer is right. Because I don't want to take it off too early and end up getting sick. So
Exactly.
it's just one of them weird wonky deals.
Well, with chicken and turkey, you have to worry more because of salmonella.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
a pork loin is like like a white meat of a center cut pork chop. It cooks.
yeah, yeah,
It doesn't take like a long time to cook. Uh, but yours is big.
yeah. And I've also stuffed it, so the meat itself is probably, I want to say dry, but cooked a little bit more than the stuffing. So
Yeah, well, you have
I've
like a
got the,
rind. You have a brown, a braised rind outer section. But I'm sure when you cut into it, the lower part of the loin is going to be tender and moist and juicy.
yeah,
But see, that's the beauty of smoking. If you put a racks of spare ribs, the big spare ribs, I call them the Fred Flintstone Bronto ribs,
or Bronto ribs.
Brontosaurus ribs. If you put them ribs in a smoker for over 10 hours, uh, you don't have to worry about them being tough. Like if like normally you would have to boil it for 15 minutes and then grill it or put it in the oven if you want short-term regular grilled spare ribs. You got to boil it first because they're tough. They really are real tough. But if you're going to smoke it over a long period of time, you don't really have to do that.
No, you don't.
But you have to have the bowl of water in there. You really should. If you're gonna smoke for 10 to 14 hours, you should have the uh,
Oh yeah, the water pan. Yeah,
well,
I agree.
you should have the soaked wood chips in the water pan.
Yeah.
I mean
Well, they
soaked.
say a lot of the time with the smoke pan, you got to do the. A lot of the smoke comes from the bark off of that. I don't know what it is, but a lot of that smoke comes from the bark. Now, there's a small portion that comes from the wood part. Okay, granted, fine, I'll give you that. But some of them say a lot of it is just from the bark. So now I'm gonna test the.
Now firewood, if it's good dry firewood, makes outstanding barbecue. I personally I like it better than the charcoal briquettes. Much better.
Really?
You find a reasonable company, reasonably priced dry kiln dried firewood, and you use that, you're going to get extra smoke flavor on top of the wood chips.
Yeah.
Plus, it'll be cheaper. It'll be cheaper, but you got to have a dry place to keep that firewood.
Yeah. You know, I know I'm gonna get a car before winter hits, and I generally get a cord of wood. And what I usually do is I'll get the wood, and I might have 2 or 3 bonfires between now and say October 31st. Okay. Now I can't tell you how many I'll have. I might have 2 or 3 more between October and Thanksgiving.
Well, that should be fun.
Yeah, or maybe the same thing, 2 or 3 more uh, for before Christmas.
You have the bonfire receptacle, the steel. It looks like a big wok.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and then it has like the screen, and then the like a wok top. But I don't generally put the top on.
You know, my brother got, instead of getting
What?
that, he got what they call a chimenea. It's a big. They make them steel and they make them in adobe clay. It's a big. It looks like a big wood burning stove with the chimney.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's made for bonfires outside, and it looks like a little fireplace. It looks like you're sitting outside with a little fireplace.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And he'd be warming stuff. He'll be warming or cooking things on top of the chimenea with a little metal grill, and things that are not greasy. you know, he put it up there, all the way up on top, and it's really fun. I sat out there with him, and he actually did it when not in the middle of summer, but he did it like the tail end, and when the mosquitoes were still out, and the mosquitoes did not come around with that thing
Oh, okay, I got you.
going. But it's decorative, you know. Instead of look like a campfire, it looks more like a fireplace.
Yeah. That bottom part of the pork loin didn't look crispy enough to me on the bottom, so I'm gonna let that set over for the goals for a minute.
Yeah, meat has to settle.
Yeah.
I saw that on a what do you call a cooking show on TV, where if you're cooking beef or any kind of meat, like especially, I don't know if it applies to all meat or just red meat, but you got to let it settle
And rest.
and
Yeah.
rest for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, for it to bring back the juices to make it juicy. Yeah.
Yeah, not have the damn thing get like cold on you, but a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But everybody, maybe people had things to do, which I understand. It's a beautiful Sunday. Enjoy the day. A lot of these people departed. Of course, I guess Eric Frauenfelder was busy today, but it happens. But this was definitely a successful show.
Yeah.
This went extremely well. We had some educational conversation here for guys, and as well as cooking.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of applies to both, but on one hand, for them guys out there that are watching this, and they might not be watching this right now. Now they might watch this 3 months from now, a year from now, whatever. And I just want to say, hey, whatever you guys do out there, get out there, man. Live life. Do what you want to do. But do not fall victim to these girls, man. I mean, it's good to be in love, this, that, and whatnot, but do not be a slave to them. No.
Well, if it's real love, it's not going to be an exploitive user type of relationship. It's going to be, it's going to be very smooth, and the chemistry is going to be ideal, and when it's right, you'll know it. It's just like my late friend for many years. He did commercial voiceovers, and he was a commercial model, but he passed away. William H. Morrow III used to say, he had a lot of wise advice. He used to say, well, if a female is really interested in the male, he'll know when she comes on to him. Like it'll be obvious if she's coming on to him. But if he's rich, she might be coming on to him for the wrong reason, But but you have to be able to spot red flags. You really have to. But anyway, greetings, Nina Yordi from the ocean state of Rhode Island. Greetings. But he made I don't know if you've been watching the show, but he made a really big, nice looking stuffed pork loin with cornbread and onions and mushrooms stuffed into a pretty big pork loin, and he tied it up with butcher cord. And he was drinking a local IPA, Bell's Brewery, right?
Yeah, the Two-Hearted Ale, yep. And, yeah, I mean, I try to do Michigan-based beers for as much as I can, but, it's kind of hard to do that because some of them, I do not know some of these breweries out there, and some of them are so small where I'm not even aware of them, and they don't have the what is it, distribution that come out to where I'm at. At least having the beer. So, about 50% of my videos are Michigan based, and then the rest are just like nationally known or internationally known. So, I mean, I don't mind, but if I could do a Michigan based beer first, I will. So,
Yeah, well, they always say support your local businesses, your local breweries, your local restaurants, your local pizzeria. They always say support local businesses first,
yeah, exactly.
but
Yep.
eventually you're going to run out, or you're going to get tired of.
Yeah. I
What's
mean,
around.
I get that I'm going to do like re-reviews on these beers, but I don't expect that to happen for quite some time, though. You know what I mean? So,
Well, what you do is when you got it uploaded automatically to YouTube, which you can do if you're going to do StreamYard. Uh, when you go to YouTube and you hit manage, and you see the recent videos that you did, recent review, you scroll down under, you click edit, and you scroll down where it says tags. Those you put your keywords in there. So you would put every keyword you put, you gotta put a comma after it to get it to go in. So you would do your name, comma, bloop, the name of the brewery that you're reviewing. Let's say it's Bell's Brewery, comma, it goes in. The type of beer you're reviewing, type it in, comma, goes in. Michigan, comma. So you load it up with all these keywords. Now that helps people on the internet with their browser find you. That
yeah.
increases the chances of them finding you. And this is what I told Michael Hilton a long time ago. I don't know whether or not he does it. Probably not. But this
Probably
is
not.
how,
See how many
this is
times
how
he goes back.
yeah, this is how you get more exposure to your videos. If you want to build your social media profile, this is what you do, especially YouTube. Now TikTok is becoming really popular.
Yeah. I guess I'm still on TikTok, but I found myself more on Clapper. It's kind of like the adult version of TikTok. So I'm finding myself over there a lot more, though.
What's it called again?
Clapper.
Clapper, like clap on, clap
Clap
off.
off. The Clapper.
No,
Yeah.
clapper.
Yeah.
The old lady misses her hands when she tries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably not even alive. Like the woman who said, "Where's the beef?"
It's under the pickle.
It's under the skinny hamburger patty is under the big thick pickle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the oversized bun.
Listen, when I make hamburgers, I get the grass-fed Black Angus ground beef, 90% lean, and I make a good 8-ounce burger. I want a real hamburger, and it's got to be medium rare. And I load it up. I got the Himalayan pink salt, black pepper, hot chili pepper of my choice, or sometimes I'll use garam masala Indian curry, just the spiciest of all the curries.
Yeah.
I call it curry in a hurry.
Curry in a hurry.
And well, if you can't tolerate it, you'll be in a hurry running to the porcelain throne.
Yeah.
But I could tolerate hot and spicy food. Anyway, let me get a bird's eye shot in case Nina's still with us.
So I have to flip this around a little bit.
She can see
that churn all the way around.
Finished product.
Now this is the bottom of the pork loin. I don't know if you could see this. Can you see this?
Yeah, I see the pan, but I pork loin is to the side.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, a little lower, a little bit lower. Yeah. Now I see it.
Now this is the bottom. I had to char that a little bit to make sure it was charred all the way around. Now I flipped it around to the top so that the top would get some charring as well.
I like
So
your I like your thick grill. It's almost looks like a cast iron grill. I
you
like it.
know, I don't know about you, but I pretty much primarily use cast iron skillets all the time. They're my favorite to use all the time.
Well, they use
And
that for steak when they're cooking steak outside. They'll put the cast iron grill right on their grill,
yeah,
cast
yeah,
iron skillet.
yeah. And sometimes I like to throw the steak on there that make that diamond pattern, the char marks, the
Yeah.
diamond pattern on the steak. And oh my goodness, it comes out so good. Yeah,
So what they do is they I don't know exactly I don't know the exact process, but what they do is what they use the cast iron skillet on the grill for with steak is when they want to put a big wad of butter in there. And they
and they kind of spoon it over the steak. Yeah,
right, they baste it like they're basting the steak.
yeah.
And I don't know if this is if they grill it for the bars really quick first and then put it in the cast iron skillet. But I never took my grill off ever and cleaned it because the heat from the coals from the fire automatically cleans your grill.
Yeah.
I would
I
get the
mean,
brush, I'll get the grill brush, and when it gets really hot, you see all that carbon come off the grill like powder, just comes right out.
yeah, that's what I do too. Well, this bad boy is done.
Oh yeah, Bart Robinson, without a doubt. That's a good looking
So I'm gonna
smoked
let that,
stuffed smoked pork loin.
yep, I'm gonna let that sit there, rest for a little bit, so I can chit chat with you a little bit more. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Let me take this inside so the flies don't get to it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of having a good smoker grill. You never have to really scrub or clean anything. You just the next time you grill and you kick up the wood and it gets cherry red, it's self-cleaning. You just take that long handled grill brush and just gently go back and forth, and you'll just see all that fat and carbon just drop off in a powder. I mean, it's fantastic. And and don't think you can't do this grilling and smoking in the winter. This is an all year round hobby. I have used my smoker barbecue when I lived in my hometown in January, February. It didn't matter. Any time of the year with snow on the ground, you could do this. You can
Yes,
do
you
this.
can.
Yeah, I didn't use lighter fluid. I used the chimney. The Weber with the cylindrical pipe with the handle on the side.
Yeah, where you put paper underneath to start the charcoals up. Yeah,
You you put a couple sheets of newspaper crumbled up in the bottom. You light the newspaper, or the firewood or the charcoal is on top, and you just watch that become cherry red. You just watch it slowly become cherry red. Then that's your starter. That's your base.
yeah.
Before that,
Now, in some cases, you might want to put some more like charcoal in your grill, and then dump that one from the chimney on top of them.
you feed it. You
So
feed it fresh,
yeah,
fresh.
you feed it. Yeah. So
Yeah. So you put fresh coals, or you put a few more logs of fresh firewood on top of your base, and you keep feeding it, and it perpetuates. If you feel that you need it to go longer, like if you're smoking overnight for 12, 14 hours, you know, you need to load it up. Uh, so you got your base, which is cherry red, and then you put fresh coals or firewood on top of that, and you kind of surmise, okay, I got it loaded up, so this is going to last overnight. you automatically know it's going to last.
Yeah, or if you know it well enough to, well, every 2 to 3 hours, I got to throw a log or two or three on there every 3 hours. Hey, you know what to do. If you know your grill uh, well enough, you know what to do. And I'm now starting to learn the ins and outs of this grill. And I had one of them old charred broil. I call them a photon torpedo smokers. Okay, and if you know photon torpedoes, they're from Star Trek.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, I seen the smile, so I kind of figured you knew what I was talking
Well,
about.
a photon is exists in
Yeah,
quantum in with astrophysicists and astronomers. There is a real thing called a photon,
yeah.
so it's not a lie. So anyway,
Well,
you do your
this photon smoker that I had stood about this tall. Okay, maybe about 3 feet high, almost maybe 4 feet. And I had that thing down like that. But the problem is the bottom where you had the charcoals at. What it was you had the bottom pan that was charcoals, and then you had another pan that they called the wet pan. Now you had either two options for this. You put in your smoker chips that were wet on this pan, or you put water in, and then you put the wet chip pans on the charcoals on the first pan, and then you had like a third level where you put the meat on. Now, what I did was is I did the charcoal, and then I did the second pan with the chip pans, and then the third level with the meat. And I, not last summer, but the summer before. Okay, this past summer, no. The summer before, not so much. The summer before that, so that would make it what 2019 summer, where all I did was ribs, ribs,
oh
ribs,
wow oh
ribs.
wow
Yeah, and I was just trying out every different uh, dry rub recipe that I could get my hands on to what I like. Now, for some of you that want to do ribs or smoking in general, you do not want to heavily put on dry rub. You want to sprinkle so it's not that much on the meat with this dry rub on there. Reason being, the smoke when you put wood chips or smoke chips on,
Mhm.
it has a tougher time penetrating through all that seasoning to the meat. Now you want to sprinkle. Now when you sprinkle, there's seasoning on there, but it's not as much. So the smoke has an easier time penetrating through the seasoning, through the first layer or the outside layer of the meat to give that smokiness to it. So you always want to sprinkle, not, you know, heavy coated like you're dressing for winter, that type of thing, if I'm making sense here.
right
Uh, You want to make it sure it's light so you get a taste just of the dry rub because the most important thing you want is that smokiness to it. The dry rub is always secondary, no matter what. It's always about the smoke and the meat. Everything else is secondary or, third. So you want to keep that in mind when you're smoking your meats out
hmm
there. So, yeah, kind of like what James was saying. You want to got either two options. You can start it with charcoal fluid or with the chimney. And I've got a chimney here for me to start my stuff. And what I do is let that go first. And while that's going, I put in my grill a layer of charcoals. So when the chimney is done, I just pour it onto the charcoals that's already in the grill, and it just goes good for the amount of time I need when I'm smoking my meats. So
yeah so well you, it's not always reading or listening to so-called experts. It's also trial and error by your own experience.
yes,
Uh,
exactly, exactly.
like I learned about if you're making homemade pancake batter. And I used to make my own sourdough starter, and I would make sourdough pumpkin pancakes from scratch. on a cast iron griddle. And what you have to realize, to make the perfect evenly browned pancake, yeah, the cast iron griddle has to be really hot, to the point where you take a little bit of cold water in your hands and you splash it. If you see the water evaporating with a loud noise, like it starts,
Yeah,
and the water starts dancing and
yeah,
vanishing,
bouncing around. Yeah,
bouncing
it's good
around,
to go.
it's good to go, man. It's good to go. So you pour your good quality cold pressed oil or whatever you're using. Not too much, because if a cast iron is well seasoned and it's black like my shirt, you don't need a lot of oil after that. Just a touch. And when you
Especially if
pour it,
it's warm season.
yeah. Well, as you cook, if you cook with fat, if you have a new cast iron pan, like let's say the most popular company's Lodge. Let's say you're in Walmart and you got the whole series of Lodge. What you do is start cooking with fatty meat. You start cooking. You buy the fattiest strips of bacon that you can find. You get the fattiest breakfast sausage. You let the pork fat from the greasy fatty ass meat to it'll come out and it will season your cast iron pan. I mean, this is after you wash it and you let it dry on the flame. You can't towel dry cast iron. It'll get rusty. Same thing with a wok for stir frying. So you do that, you dry it on the flame, let it cool down, and for the first week or so, to season it, you're going to cook the fattiest strips of bacon or slab bacon that is available. That's the way I do it, to break it
Yeah,
in.
you know what they always say is not only that, but if you get one and you don't plan to use it for a minute or at least like a week or so, what you do is you clean it, like you were saying, and then you put it on the stove, get it hot, and what you do is you get some lard like Crisco or whatever, and what you do is maybe put in a spoon of grease in there
See, I
and
leave
get
it.
yeah. Well, I'm getting at is you put a spoon of the grease in there and you get some napkins or paper towels and get that grease and run that grease all over the pan. I'm talking the bottom and the walls that are coming up on the inside. You get all that greased up. Once you do that, you're good.
You see, but what I do is when I first break in the cast iron for the first week with the fatty bacon, I leave the bacon fat in the cast iron
Okay. Yeah. I
because
see what you're saying. Yeah.
because because animal fat, whether you call it lard or tallow or whatever the hell you call it, chicken fat or duck fat or goose fat, it doesn't require refrigeration as long as you keep it clean. You scoop out the particles, but you
Yeah.
don't have to refrigerate it. And at room temperature, it solidifies. Same thing with coconut oil, it solidifies. So I leave the bacon grease in the pan because I want to use it for the next day when I put more greasy bacon in there or pork sausage, right? And then it starts adding to it until you end up having this much lard in there, just for the purpose of breaking in that cast iron pan and getting it really black. It
Yeah.
just,
That
yeah,
grease settles it all into all the nooks and crannies and crevices of that pot. So
yeah,
it's kind of like it keeps it well seasoned.
yeah. That iron, that
Or
that
at least well
iron,
oiled.
yeah, it really breaks in that iron. And then when it's good and black and seasoned, then if you feel you have too much pork fat in there, then you can scoop it out and put it in a container, and put it off to the side. You can scoop it. You don't have to refrigerate. You just have to keep it clean. I mean, there's an old restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee that cooks everything deep fried in lard and pork fat. And that pork fat is over 100 years old because the restaurant is over 100 years old. and all they do is skim out the impurities, the particles, the burnt parts, and they keep
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah,
stuff that makes the oil bad. Yeah.
you can't spoil lard, pork fat, or
Hey,
duck
yeah,
fat.
but it has a tendency of getting darker, almost to the point if you leave it in too long, it looks like bad motor oil. So you want to filter it to get all the particles out, so it looks nice and it makes the food look nice.
Good morning, my dear Masumi from the Tokyo, Japan area. Good morning. You just woke up? Well, what a better way to wake up to one of our live stream shows, I guarantee. And it's I know it's probably 5:17 a.m. there, possibly, or 6:17, 5, either or. I think either or. So anyway, thank you. So we have people from Scotland and Japan watching us. Uh,
Uh, she missed the show, man. I mean, she could always go back and watch, yeah. But
oh,
today was a good episode.
the music show last night. It was oh yeah, this show. Oh yeah, yeah. It's pre-recorded. She can go back to the beginning. It's a great bar. It was a great barbecue show, Masumi. Him cooking on the grill, a big pork loin stuffed with cornbread and onions and mushrooms in there.
And that's
And
a BC signature dish right there.
right, right now, how many hours? What was the total time of the smoke grilling there?
Total time was 155.
Okay,
So
almost 2 hours.
yeah,
Yeah, almost 2 hours. Then you let it sit, you let it rest.
yeah.
And getting back to the homemade sourdough pumpkin pancakes. When you pour it, you can tell it's time to flip the pancake when the edges dry and you see little pinholes on top of the pancake.
Oh
Little,
yeah, like little yeah.
yeah, but it has to be pinholes with the edge being dry. Then you flip it over and it's got that perfect brown look to it, and you can't go wrong. Same thing with waffles, except with waffles, you can't fill up the whole waffle iron because when you close it, the
It
bat
spreads out. Yeah.
the batter's gonna come flying out, and you just do maybe two thirds or 2/3 of it in the middle, something like that, and you leave space on the edge, you know. Oh, you gotta go. All right, nice having you, Bart Robinson. Good to have
Yep.
you and Fart Doctor and Nina Yordi and Masumi and Sid with the Red Pill Talk and Jordy from Scotland. All everyone, uh, um, um, everyone was great. Jason Cleveland, thank you, Jason Cleveland, uh, for coming by. And I guess the next, I don't know when the next, I don't know when I'm going to be on next. I don't know if I'm going to be on uh, Wednesday because honestly, I don't know what Ronald Terrio's theme is going to be Wednesday. I don't.
I think it's Mars and beers, but you might want to check with him first, just make sure.
Oh,
But
so
yeah,
the first one was not Marzen and
it was Fest beers. The
Fest
last
beer.
one was Fest beers. Yeah,
Right now, the first one was anything that said Oktoberfest on it, Oktoberfest beer.
yeah,
Anything.
I think so. Yeah,
Then was Fest beer. So you have a feeling this Wednesday is Marzen?
yeah. But like I said, you might want to get a hold with him just to make sure.
Yeah,
So
because he's supposed to do a Joker's Wild Wednesday at least once a month.
okay, yeah,
I don't.
because I've got I hate to say it, but I've got so many beers in my fridge right now. It's just crazy, and some of them I've done for I guess what do they call that segment for infantry outdoors now, or for Ron's show now. For both shows, Ron's and infantry outdoors, I might use one or two beers. Now the rest I haven't used on my show yet. Now with these extra beers that I've got from these two shows, I'm going to use them on my show. Because I've got them and I haven't done one of these beers on my show yet, so I'll just do that.
And you did a review kind of with the IPA Bell's IPA here, and you got your shows, and then you got um, hopefully, I think we're due for this month for at least one Joker's Wild Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because the other show, there's always something that annoys me. I'll be perfectly honest with you. So anyway, uh, the other Wednesday show.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
He didn't even allow me to do promo at the end. He just cut it off. He let
yeah,
certain people do promo. I don't know if it's because he knew I was going to do Fandango Friday promo for Ontario, or I don't know what the reason was, but I was not allowed to do promo, and there's just certain things that I cannot do on his show that I can do with Ronald Terrio. So I feel more comfortable. I mean,
yeah. I know. I was on the Wednesday show. Was it? I think it was last Wednesday. And it was like, yeah, "Where's James?" I was surprised you weren't there.
yeah, because
So
I didn't have I couldn't find that particular fest beer, and you know I'm not gonna get stuck. No, it's good gimmick. The train's a good gimmick. It's a good sound.
yeah, I know. I just hate it when I try to talk. And then you got the trains blowing their horns as they're going by.
Yeah. Um, yeah. What was I saying? You know, they don't
So
sell enough. They don't sell enough individual bottles here. They want you to buy. They're greedy fucks. They want you to buy the 6-pack, the case, and I'm not going to be stuck with a beer that I'm not going to like that much. And
yeah, I know what you mean.
and I'm not.
I hate to say it, but my brother that used to live with me, he knew that the beers at the bottom of the fridge are for the show that I'm going to be recording at some point. Now, the beers that were on the top shelf meant that I already did the show. So if he wanted one of them beers on the top shelf, hey, he was more than happy to try any of them beers because I don't necessarily drink all them beers that I do on my channel. So, and sometimes that goes for other shows that I do too.
Yeah, but he
So,
he remembers not to touch the beers on the bottom. That's the
yeah,
difference.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was saying, I'm not going to spend the money going crazy running around for these themed beers like that other guy has his show. What was it? Jesse of Bumpy Road.
Oh,
He's very rigid and strict about his themes. You know what I mean? I'm not going to look. We don't get paid for spending all this money between travel
yeah,
and the stress of finding the theme beer. We don't get paid
yeah,
for
yeah,
doing this. We don't get residuals, whatever, off of YouTube. So I am not going to sweat it. I like the Joker's Wild Wednesday. I like the Fandango Friday because there's loads of airline bottles behind the case that you can just say, "Oh, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that," and before you know it, you might have like 2 months worth of Fandango Friday.
yeah,
And it's easier that way. I would not buy a whole bottle of liqueur or sweet flavored whiskey because I'm not into those beverages.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I only do it because the airline bottles are cheap. It's a one-shot deal.
yeah.
And it's a tool for friends to get together and talk.
It is. It is. I mean, regardless if it's like what they do on them hoity-toity shows or
Yeah.
them shows that you and I do, It's all the same. Everybody getting together talking about the beer.
Yeah, well, see, the thing with Fandango Friday, like Ronald says, you know, it's a tool for friends to get together and talk. But then if you start talking about other subjects besides liquor, he cuts you off. Like he brings the video to him, and because the show has to move along and be done in 1 hour. So there really is no fellowship and camaraderie between friends that much. It's like the only time people get to talk a bit is at the end. Like Jean Pierre said he was going to a tequila festival in Georgia, and it was going to cost him $75. And I said, "Wow, wow!" I says, "Are they going to feed you?" He says, "No, no, we got to pay for the food because
Separate.
there's food trucks. There's going to be food trucks. We got to pay." I says, "Fuck them." I says, "For $75, you have to pay for the food."
Yeah.
I mean,
You're looking at almost $100 right there between the 75 for the thing and then maybe 25 at the food trucks, depending on if it's you and somebody else.
how
Now it
many
might be, yeah. So
how many frozen margaritas could a person drink? Are they? I think they're making a good profit off of that all you can drink margarita deal.
yeah, I mean, at some point you're going to get so drunk where you're not going to use the rest of
No,
them.
and I hope he has a way of getting home. I hope he's not driving.
That's what Uber and Lyft is for.
Yeah, I would seriously not drive there because I'm sure the cops are going to be hiding in select places, ready to DWI everybody that comes out of that.
Yeah, like behind a welcome to a such and such city or a
Yeah.
bunch of bushes or a rest stop, something.
Hmm.
So
Well, look, we had a great show. Uh, we had some really deep, heavy duty red pill talk, cooking advice, the visual effects of the barbecuing, some craft beer talk. It was a fantastic blockbuster show,
it
and
really was.
and this is the way, very professional, and this is a perfect way to do this show. Hold on, Jordy has a question. Right now, it's 5:29 p.m. Sunday Eastern Time. 5:29 p.m.
So it's 5:30 right now.
It's
Hey,
about
that's good. We started at what 3 o'clock? That ain't bad.
three, three, right?
Yeah, and last time it took us what 3 hours to get to this point. I mean, hey, yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
was
don't
good.
forget, we had Eric. Eric was talking, and you were talking, and I was talking. So
Yeah,
we had three people. But Eric enjoyed being on the show last time. I don't know where he is now, but um,
yeah.
but nevertheless, with all of our visitors, it ended up being a really great show. It's 10:30 in Scotland. Cheers, guys. Okay. Well, it's not too late by you, Jordy. You could you still have a little bit of the night
Fun.
left. Jordy, tell me, did they show South Park cartoon in Scotland? I'm a big South Park. I'm just wondering if South Park is shown in
Eric,
Scotland.
your mom's a big fat bitch, bitch, big fat bitch.
Oh, I knocked something off the table. I have my table here is an heirloom, a family heirloom. My late uncle, in when he was a kid, sometime in the I guess I don't know 1940 sometime, made this bench, heavy, thick wooden bench for my grandmother. And as I was growing up, this was in the hallway in the house. I grew up in Lodi, and you know, there's a lot of memories associated with this bench. A lot of holidays with family, and anytime I knock on wood on the show, I'm knocking on this vintage.
That bench.
Yeah, this is storage, area underneath it. Oh, Jordy says something. Hold on. Kenny bobblehead, Stan Marsh. You know what I found, Jordy? I found on Etsy. I found a Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh uh, action figure kind of ornament. I would love to get that. South Park is brilliant. The Family Guy, Rick and well, I don't know about Rick and Morty. I never saw it. I got Netflix also. Stan Marsh, Randy Marsh is the father. He's funny. Randy Marsh, he contributes a lot of comedy to South Park. That's all I have to say. Not familiar at all with these people. Not familiar. Sorry. But anyway, Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh, that's right. He lives inside of you. You know what's funny about Mr. Hanky? He's a piece of shit. He's a turd, a talking turd that lives in a sewer, and he has a family. One of his sons, his name is Cornwallis. He has that corn kernel sticking out of his head. But he always gives hygiene advice to the kids. Make sure you brush behind your teeth. Make sure you change your sheets once a week. I got to bring my toothbrush if I'm going with you. Here's a talking turd giving hygiene advice.
Man, ain't that some shit?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's funny. That's what cracks me up about it. He's an American singer. No, I'm not familiar with it. But anyway, I'm gonna cut off now. I gotta finish my workout that I didn't do yesterday. Then I gotta cook dinner, and I'm just going to
it would be nice if you smoke too with me here, man, at the same time. But it's your show. You do what you want.
Well, back in the day, I used to smoke a pipe, but I'm living in a smoke-free apartment building, so
okay,
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But you're over there. You could smoke whatever you like. You get one of those corn cob.
I'm good with whatever.
Get a corn cob pipe, and get some Captain Black or whatever, some exotic pipe tobacco.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cooling down. It's getting into the mid to upper 50s at night, but I could still feel a tad bit of humidity, but it's cooling down.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's like 72, 73 over here now. So overnight it's going to be like mid to upper 50s.
Yeah. You live in the state of Washington or Oregon, right, Jason? I think Pacific Northwest. I think that's where Jason lives. Somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, where the precipitation is very high.
Well, it's starting to rain out here. I'm gonna head inside.
Okay, I'm going to call it a night. Oh, you're in yeah, he is in Washington. Snow. Oh, I can't even pronounce this. Snohomish, Snohomish, Washington. Sasquatchy land, country. Sasquatchy. All right, everybody, including you, BC. I'll talk to you. Bye bye.
Yep. Later, guys.
You too, Jordy.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good day.
All right.
And have a good week.
You too, everybody.